Hey, advanced math kids, it's Miss Candleberry. I am here to teach you guys something you already know about. We're going to kind of review the distributive property, but as we review the distributive property, we're going to talk about it kind of in a different way of thinking about or solving just the multiplication equation using area model and the distributive property. All right. We've done the area model so much and we've done the distributive property so much that this shouldn't be so new. So anyway, if you can see over here, you can see a grid. This is the area model as we know, because an area model is where you draw a box and you represent a multiplication problems by making that grid pattern, right? For example, I can tell that this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 across. So, and then it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 down. So I have 6 rows and I have 8 columns. So this area model is showing me 6 times 8, right? Because it's got 6 rows and 8 columns. However, you can also see that it is shaded. And it's shaded to make it easier to solve 6 times 8. So this is using the area model, the drawn out area model, not the easier one that we also know. But so if you notice, the shaded area that I have is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns. 5 columns out of that 8. So what we've done in our area model is said, hey, 8 is 5 plus 3. And we know that it's really easy to multiply numbers by 5 because it's simply counting by 5, right? So I'm going to distribute the 5 and the 3 from the 8 to the 6. So instead of solving it like 6 times 8, we are now breaking it apart into a kind of friendly number, a 5. And we're going to solve 6 times 5. And you can see that that is this blue area over here, the blue area right here. That's 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I'm going to add that to 6, because there's my 6, right? There's times 3, because that's the leftover part. So right here, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times 1, 2, 3, right? So here I've used the area model in this picture, and you use the distributive property by shading parts to make it easier to solve the equation. So the answer would be 6 times 3, as we know, 6 times 5, as we know, is 30. And I know that because if I count by 5s, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And then, of course, 6 times 3 is 18. And I know that because 6 plus 6 plus 6 is 18. And then I would just solve that, which would be 48. And that's my answer. Now, you might already know that 6 times 8 is 48. But again, this is showing our work as to how we solved it. So you use basically area and distributive property. So if you see something like this, and we're going to do another one in a moment, I'm going to let you solve it and then pause it. But if you see this, let's say on a test or a practice test, a review document, you'll know what you're looking at, because sometimes it's hard to know. All right, so if we go to this next example, what I'd like for you to do is we're going to count it together. I want you to pause the video like we've done so many times. I want you to pause the video, and I want you to solve this. And then you unpause it, and you'll check your work using mine. So go ahead and pause, solve your work, and then unpause when you're done. All right, hopefully you're done. If you're not, you need to pause it and do the work and then unpause it. So I can see that this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 columns. So I've got 9 columns, and then I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rows. So 7 times 9, or you could have said you're solving 9 times 7 too. Either of those are fine. So I noticed that again, it's shaded 5 of the 9. So when I count, because I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns are shaded green. So I'm going to say, so I'm basically breaking this 9 up into 5 and 4, right? Because 5 plus 4 equals 9. Then I'm going to distribute that, and I'm going to say 7 times 5, and then I'm going to add that to 7 times 4, and so now I'm going to use that distributive property to get my answer. So 7 times 5 we know is 35. 7 times 4 is 28. I know that because 7 times 2 is 14, and 14 plus 14 is 28. And then you would just add together to get your answer, which normally I would make you show your work, but that's okay. 63. So 63 is my answer. And like I said, you might already know this from your mind, but you still should show your work. So if you got the answer 63 and that's important, your work was right, then you understood. If you just told me this, if you just wrote this on a piece of paper, you're not showing to me that you understand the distributive property in the area model. All right, so be careful that you don't shortcut something and not show your understanding of it. Okay? Today, for your work, you have a link to this, I believe this is it. This is a study guide for your Unit 2 test. On Friday, you will, in fact, take a quiz, a test kind of online. When you take that quiz, you should make sure you are taking it by yourself with no parental help. They can help you get on it, but they shouldn't have to help you understand questions. It's just for Ms. Campbell to see if you understand the standards, okay? It's not like going to be a big scary grade or anything like that, but I do want to know if you understand things, okay? Here is our study guide, and you can see your study guide is pretty long. You're not going to do number 18. Do not do number 18. But we're going to do half of it today and half of it on Wednesday. So you're going to do 1 through 6 today. So today, 1 through 6. Monday, 1 through 6. And then Tuesday, there's not going to be a video. So you're going to do 7 through 17. So a little bit more work on Tuesday, but I think you guys will be fine because, if you just really want to keep going and do more work, you can, but you don't need to. This is what I expect to be done every day. Now, you can print out the study guide. If you have access to a printer, you could print out the study guide, show your work on the guide, take a picture of each page. You just upload it to your class dojo page for your math for the day. Or if you don't feel comfortable, you don't have a printer, you can look at your study guide on the screen and you could just do this. You could just say, okay, obviously, hopefully you might just say 1, and then you would just choose the answer that you have for 1. And if there's some work, you would do your work. All right, like number 2 says, explain how you know. So you would say, write your letter, whatever that is, and then you would explain. Okay? You don't have to rewrite the whole problem. You do not have to rewrite the whole problem. I don't need to rewrite all of question 1 and then choose my answer. I can just look at it on the screen and choose my answer and just write A or write B or write C or D, whichever one is your choice. Okay? All right, I do want to clear that up. So if you can't print it, you can look at it and write your answers and then take your picture of your answers. Okay? All right, and show your work that way. All right, advanced math, let me know if you have any questions.